Oman with Professor Salam Al-Kindi, and now we are going to go to East Africa. We're going to Uganda, and we're going to hear from a warrior that we love, whom we love very much, SARAFINAH BUKIRWA. How are you doing, my sister?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here today and seeing all the lovely faces. Happy World Sickle Cell Day from Uganda, East Africa. My name is SARAFINAH BUKIRWA, a medical clinic officer by profession, executive director, SARAFINAH Sickle Cell Society, a mother and a sickle cell warrior, living positive and happy with sickle cell disease, embracing what runs through my blood, and celebrating and improving lives. Hello, Viva. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again, dear. And you look
Sorry,
good and
after
healthy.
seeing you. Dr. Laurie, how are you, my dear?
You are muted again.
Tina, I've been looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Seriously, big hugs from me. And I said one time that I want to come visit you and I want you to take me around. So at one point that'll happen. I know you've been to California, so thank you. Pleasure to see you. And I think that our audience wants to know more about what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much, and I'll be happy to have you. I can't wait. Thank you.
So, do you have a presentation? Do you have slide? Okay, good. They're sharing it for you.
Yes, they're sharing it for me.
Carry on.
Thank you. As mentioned, SARAFINAH Sickle Cell Society, it is a non-government organization that improves lives of persons affected with sickle cell disease and young teenage mothers. SARAFINAH Sickle Cell Society was started in 2019 and officially launched with the NGO Bureau, or the non-government organization for non-profits, in 2020, January the 20th. And up to date, it is carrying out its activities, which range from free medical services, blood donation, blood recruitment, providing free healthcare services, advocacy, education to healthcare workers, caregivers, supporters, and warriors, as much as more, focusing on improving lives. My name is MCO BUKIRWA SARAFINAH, a medical clinic officer by profession, executive director, SARAFINAH Sickle Cell Society. I'm so happy to join the world today with the theme, Global Action, Local Impact, Empowering Communities for Effective Self-Advocacy. I'm excited to meet all the warriors around the world, and I appreciate the work you do. I appreciate the resilience and the strength you possess to show that the sickle cell gene is strong and getting stronger each day, improving lives. Thank you. Next slide, please. Happy World Sickle Cell Day 2025. In Uganda, 160,000 births that are born in every year. Next slide, please. In Uganda, East Africa, out of 160,000 births that occur every year, 25,000 have sickle cell disease, and 90% of these die before the age of 5. This is due to lack of comprehensive medical care, lack of newborn screening programs, lack of overall screening programs, lack of equipment in health facilities, trained health workers, lack of medications, and also adequate procedures to manage sickle cell warriors, lack of awareness, increased stigma, discrimination, criticism, and so much more. And I would love to emphasize that sickle cell disease contributes to 13% to child mortality rate, which is 45% per 100 births in Uganda every year. This is a very high number. We are noticing that our warriors are dying so young, and it is absurd that most of them die before they know what they are suffering from. And those that know that they are suffering from sickle cell disease find it difficult to access medical care and maintain their overall health. Mothers are worried about sickle cell disease. A mother wished, I wish my child had HIV than sickle cell. They could get better care. This is a Ugandan mother saying this. What is that? Those are all danger signs. That sickle cell is left behind, it is not tackled, and warriors are dying, warriors are not surviving, and there is no hope for tomorrow. If anyone could wish to have another illness other than what they have, it means we're not doing what we can to support them effectively. Increasing numbers of warriors are overwhelming all over the country. Only 1% of all warriors that are diagnosed are using hydroxyurea, and also this includes other additional medications, which include benzyl penicillin for preventing bacterial infections, folic acid, multivitamins, Fansida as an anti-malarial prophylaxis, Uganda being in a tropical region, amongst others. There are no support medication. We don't have routine monitoring and evaluation measures of the disease of newly diagnosed warrior, whereas well over also those of existing warriors. There is a high number of cases of stigma, discrimination, and criticism. This ranges from homes, schools, and communities. When I talk of homes, I also include domestic violence, where families have to split up, separate, and get destroyed because a mother has given birth to a child with sickle cell disease. The husband's family is believing that this is a traditional illness, and it is an indication that this woman was not blessed to be in that marriage, or it is a curse from God, indicating that the marriage should end. Communities are not welcoming sickle cell warriors, where a person living with sickle cell cannot open up a shop in a community. People will not buy from them. People will not interact with them, thinking that they are going to spread sickle cell disease. Most of them are also mentioning that they have heart diseases instead of sickle cell, because they find that heart disease is a little bit fancy and HIV than living with sickle cell disease. When it comes to the schools, our warriors are not getting education. We are having a high number of dropouts because they think they're going to spread sickle cell disease to fellow children. They are bullied because of the nature and physique of how they look. The yellow eyes, sharpened shoulders, being small due to malnutrition and other complications of sickle cell disease. Teenagers lacking a good shaped body due to sickle cell disease, and failure to develop early, like the breasts and also the calves when it comes to the ladies. And when it comes to the boys, it is overwhelming because they are really traumatized because they cannot participate in extracurricular activities like any other teenager in their age due to the complications of sickle cell. This is a tragedy because it is increasing the cases of mental breakdown. It is increasing the cases of death. It is increasing the cases of discrimination and withdrawal from the community. If we don't stand together, it is going to be a mess. It is going to be overwhelming to control the mental health of warriors, which also leads to their death. When there is no education and education materials in the community, it is very difficult for individuals to understand the disease. We do not have reading materials. We do not have illustration materials educating the community about sickle cell disease. This is not only in the communities, but also hospitals and government settings. which makes it difficult for individuals to understand what sickle cell disease is or even raise campaigns concerning sickle cell disease. Malnutrition is also becoming a problem because warriors cannot take medication without meals. Warriors are having low immunity and are failing to live their lives because they cannot access food. A warrior communicated to me that I either have to choose food or medication because I cannot have the two. I do not have the money to buy the food and the medication at the same time. So I need to choose which one should I go for. This warrior was choosing days in a week, those she has to take medication and those that she has to eat food. Making matters worse, she is supporting two of other siblings that were abandoned by the parents and the grandparents because they are living with sickle cell disease. This warrior is working as a prostitute to support her life, which is making life frustrating and heartbreaking when it comes to our individuals. Next slide, please. I am happy that we have a partner that has joined us. Activities that SSCS is doing to promote lives, that is Sickle Forward. It is introducing newborn sickle cell screening in Uganda, East Africa, Rwenzori region. And we are going to tackle the Rwenzori region, which has 5 districts, call them provinces or states. That is Hoima, Ntoloko, Bundibujo, Chikube, Masindi, and Kasese. We are targeting individuals. We are targeting newborns that are born everywhere in this region. We are also going an extra mile to screen children that are aged between 1 year and 5 years, because not only they are not symptomatic, but we believe that children in these regions are having a high percentage of probability of living with sickle cell disease. We are also establishing point of care centers in these regions with support from our partners. Next slide, please. We are training health workers in the usage of sickle scans. This is modern technology in Uganda. It has not been there. These sickle scans are going to be used by our health workers in these regions to ensure that all the children are screened and linked to point of care centers in case they test when they are living with sickle cell disease. We are using the Gazelle machine as our confirmatory test. This is a beauty because it is not complex. It can be used by any health worker so long as they are trained, especially in the maternity ward and also other wards. So we are ensuring that we improve lives through this point of care testing. Next slide, please. Screening, diagnosing, and treating our warriors. We are giving these individuals a second chance to fight. Most of our warriors have been dying without even knowing what exactly is the cause of death. We find women having more than 7 children dying because of sickle cell, but they still calling it a traditional illness. They are believing that when they were pregnant, they went to the well and the gods of the well cursed them. They believe that when they were also teenagers, they went to the river to fetch water, and the gods of the river cursed them for going there. So this is really traumatizing, and this is heartbreaking that people do not know the generation and how sickle cell disease is brought about. Next slide, please. We are happy for our partner, MTS Sickle Cell Foundation, that has joined the activities in the central region of Uganda, East Africa, to support us in blood donor recruitment, adult sickle cell screening, institutional awareness, and visits. When it comes to blood donor recruitment, We are assisting the Uganda Red Cross Society and the Uganda Blood Bank in mobilizing these campaigns of collecting blood and ensuring that that blood is strictly donated to our warriors free of charge in times of need. We are also ensuring that our pregnant mothers are receiving this blood as needed. Most warriors are losing lives because when they go to the hospital, the health workers believe that sickle cell is not a priority in receiving blood. It is a waste. After all, they are going to die after a few days or even not surviving. Why waste the blood when you can give it to another patient who is going to survive? You can imagine the myths and misconceptions. What do you have to say about this? Our adult individuals are not screened. We are having intermarriages because of the traditional practices. And without screening, it is raising our numbers of both carrier individuals, call it those that are living with the trait, and also the warriors, which will be overwhelming in the future. Centered testing for people who are planning to get married, the youths, and also individuals in tertiary institutions like universities is giving us hope and ensuring people make independent decisions when it comes to sickle cell disease. Next slide, please. Support activities in the different regions, collecting blood, blood screening, sickle cell disease screening, awareness, and education on sickle cell disease. Next slide, please. SARAFINAH Sickle Cell Society has took it as a mandate to distribute free medication to our warriors. We are targeting the distribution of the golden drug, hydroxyurea, and other support medication. As I mentioned earlier, only 1% of our warriors can access hydroxyurea. Reason being, it is very expensive for a layman to afford it. Secondly, the drug is not in the country, and those that are having it are selling it at a higher cost. So being able to distribute it to our warriors and educating them on how to use it is really a golden opportunity for giving them a fighting chance. However, we have a big challenge with this medication. Anyone using hydroxyurea, especially children, have to go into routine testing. That includes the complete blood count, liver function tests, renal function tests. Most of our warriors cannot afford these tests, even if they are to do it every 90 days to monitor their parameters and to see the effectiveness of that drug. So these are two challenges that are in hand, both lacking medication and lacking the facilities or the equipments to be able to monitor these parameters. We urge the world to come and join us and enable us provide these things to our warriors to give them a fighting chance. Next slide, please. We provide also other basic needs like food, clothing, warm water bottles, blankets, books, bags, shoes, and safe water. When it comes to safe water, bacterial infections in sickle cell disease is one of the causes that leads to death. It is highly recommended that warriors take safe water. This is absurd because where I come from, Uganda, East Africa, we do not have adequate safe water. We still have our warriors taking the same water as the animals they raise in ponds, and we do not have access to clean water. So establishing clean supply systems of water, especially underground, is our target. But however, we don't know how we are going to achieve this without the support of the world. Typhoid is one of the diseases that is succumbing our warriors. GIT infections or gastrointestinal infections, and also other complications. Food, our warriors are taking 1 meal a day or not even. Those that are lucky take a cup of porridge to sustain their lives. Clothing and shoes is a miracle to our warriors, even if it is a rainy season. Once they don't have clothing and shoes, it brings more complications due to the nature of the disease, clumping of the red blood cells, leading to crises. And once they get these crises, it's very difficult to reverse them, leading to more complications, nearly causing death. Books. We are giving them books to support them with education. Parents and caregivers do not find it as a necessity for warriors to go to school. Why waste the money when I know my girl or boy is going to die in less than 5 years or less? That's what they keep telling you. Let me educate these others that are going to live and will be able to live a positive life. So warrior education is not a necessity where I come from, and they are not supported in any way. If we do not step up to assist them, then warriors will not go to school. Warriors will not have a stable life. Warriors will live in discrimination, even under the roofs of their parents' houses, if they are lucky to have the parents. Next slide, please. I'm sending a message to all warriors. SARAFINAH Sickle Cell Society. Accept first what runs, accept that the first form of treatment is to fight against sickle cell disease. You are a strong warrior and you can move mountains. If you accept that you have sickle cell disease, you will understand that you are a sickle cell warrior and you move mountains. Without acceptance, you will not know how to treat yourself. You will not identify the challenges you face and you will not know how to handle these challenges. But acceptance is key. Please, all warriors out there, if you want to live a positive life, I need you to accept what runs through your blood. Then the rest will be history. Next slide, please. Personally, I am a sickle cell warrior. I am sickle cell independent because I embraced the sickle cell gene in me. So I'm asking you a question. Hello, warrior. Are you a proud warrior? Reflect on yourself and look at the things that do not make you to be a proud warrior. If it is the sickle cell gene in you, kindly embrace it. Know your weakness and know your strength. I argue with you. If you reflect on that, you will know that you have a strong warrior in you and you will move mountains. Be proud. Next slide, please. You are the power. The fear that they fear what they don't know, because you are the power. For all those people around you that make it difficult for you to live, that do not understand you, it is because they do not understand you. Let the sickle cell gene not only be in your blood, but not that it is in your mind. It is not in your mind. So let's fight sickle cell depression together. I will rephrase that. I need you to know that the sickle cell gene is in your blood, but it is not in your mind. So let's fight sickle cell depression together. Next slide, please. I can live with the sickle cell gene and have a better life. How about you? Can you do that? Next slide, please. As I mentioned on our challenges, we lack water, we lack basic needs, we lack medical equipment, we lack the supportive medication, low routine monitoring and evaluation of the disease, high cases in stigma, discrimination and criticism, increase in mental health breakdowns, no educative materials, and malnutrition. Next slide, please. Currently, SARAFINAH Sickle Cell Society is having 2,705 warriors that it is supporting monthly, providing the basic needs, basic medication and treatment. I am happy to tell you that we started with 20 patients, but at the moment, that is the number we are having, 2,705. And we are still counting on because we are getting warriors in the country wherever they are. We do not have the resources to facilitate these warriors, but we try what we can to improve their lives and also support human health. Next slide, please. As it is the National Sickle Cell Day, join us to become a partner. Join us to make the change you want to see. With SARAFINAH Sickle Cell Society, we can improve lives by sharing love, hope, care, and awareness on sickle cell disease. Next slide, please. Happy World Sickle Cell Day 2025. Sharing love, hope, care, and awareness on sickle cell disease. Thank you. I'm sending you the hearts.
Oh boy. You know, first of all, everyone, I'm so glad. Thank you for joining us. And SARAFINAH works so incredibly hard.
Yeah.
I don't think you all understand. It's newborn screening exists here, and I know that in the United States, we too still have the stigma, the discrimination. We still have that.
Yeah.
But we have a community, and I just think it's amazing what you're doing and spreading the word. But I want everyone to hear this again. And this is the part that I don't think people understand. 90%, millions of babies are born with sickle cell disease, but 90%, and SARAFINAH didn't make up that number. 90% of the children won't live past 5.
Yeah.
So before, in the US, those numbers were the same until they discovered that you needed to have prophylactic penicillin.
Yes.
At least for the first 5 years. And then we have access to hydroxyurea. So your need is so great. I'm so thankful that you're sharing about what's going on in Uganda. I'm going to turn this over to Biba, but let's also see what's in there's a lot of
yeah.
So Biba, do you want to monitor?
It is absurd that we have 135 districts, and out of 135 districts, only 5 districts are receiving the newborn sickle cell screening. So
Okay.
the 130 do not have the screening.
That's not enough. So one of the things that I notice is that is the lack of education, well, how even the information is given to them.
Yes.
Right? Every time I go back home, I go to the sickle cell clinic and the physician, the doctors, I sit with them in the consultation room just because they just want to say, just sit and let them, because I speak the language, and they tell them that, you have a son who is 35, 36, 30, so every time. But one of the things that I find interesting is that so many of the mothers, they can't read or they cannot write.
Yes.
And research is being done in English, right?
Yes.
Even for me, English is my 4th language. See, I had to learn 2 African languages, French, and then English. It's my 1st language. So I process information, in a way that it goes through a chain of, thing. So I look at them sometimes, they can't read, they can't write, so they only go with what is being explained to them. And the physician have so many patients that they don't have time, right? They will just basically tell, okay, this is the prescription, do this, do that. Sickle cell you need to be educated to manage sickle cell. You need to have information, sit in conferences, go in those peer support group. That's what we have in North America. That's what we have in these developed countries, and that they don't have. So that's the number one factor. And the second one also is that it is expensive to care for a child with sickle cell disease. I was sitting there when sometimes they will prescribe hydroxyurea to mothers, and it's like $7.50 per month, and they will say, I can't afford it.
Yes.
I can't afford it. So if it's for life, when you give them that things, he has to take it every day, they will go like, oh, no way. So I don't even want to start because I can't afford it. So those are the barriers that they have, in those countries. So the lack, that's what I said, that we have to translate the information in the language that they understand. And Arafa from Tanzania does that very well. All their posts are, in Swahili. And I think every country needs to start. That's why Professor Alkindi, we went to the Middle East in Oman. Everything is in Arabic. That's their mother tongue. They understand. The physician talks to them in the language that they understand. They have the same culture. They understand each other. And you can see how the patients are interacting with them, and the relationship is different. So, and then you know what? Here, the majority of us are Black, seeking care in a system that is, racist towards us. So there's so many things that are the sickle cell. The sickle cell landscape is difficult to understand, but thanks for sharing this. It was really difficult to hear, and some of them I can relate to because I understand it's the reality in most developing countries, but there is a lot of work to be like there is a lot of work to be done, and you're doing a good job. That's why we have alliances like GASDO bringing us together so that we can work together. You can learn from what's being done somewhere else and then take it back there. We can support you in the work you do, and we make sure that regardless of your geographical position, you will have access to good care and then be treated in a way that is like how do I say, a decent way, right? For a parent even to not educate a child because of the sickle cell. That was hard for me to receive today, right? And which is sad.
That's true.
I'm really happy.
Recently, I was dealing with a case. A dad was trying to kill the daughter at home. The girl is only 4 years old because she has sickle cell disease. So the dad is riding a motorcycle for a living. He's doing cycling for a living. And this is a person who's earning beyond the poverty line. Like they can barely make a living. So this girl is always getting sick, And he came back with a bicycle and he tried to run it over the girl to kill her because she's really a burden. If she's not there, maybe the life would have been a little bit better. You don't judge them, but it is the situation that is causing all this. This is a girl that is always in and out of the hospital with a lot of complications, enlarged spleen, kidneys, enlarged heart, blood transfusions in and out, lack of medication, poor veins, always having a cannula on her jugular vein, and you can see what is causing the devastation. So a lot of people are committing crimes and doing violence, but it is due to that situation in the country that is pressing them. Uganda is a third world country. Everyone is below the poverty line, unless when there are politicians that are being corrupt in high stakes or sits in the government. But any other normal person is living a life that they do not wish to live or their children. So when you add on a chronic illness that needs maintenance day in, day out, it is overwhelming. Yes.
Sarafina, I'm happy though that you mentioned that there are at least 2 organizations that partner with you, MTS and and you mentioned okay. And also feel free to put your contact information in the chat, your website for anyone that may want to learn more and figure out a way that they can best help you. You were very, it was great to have listed the needs, and maybe you never know, there could be one person who says, I can take care of the hydroxyurea or the food or what have you. So feel free to do that. I do see, Biba,
Yeah,
that
Ade is here.
is there. And so why don't we look at our agenda, everyone? So I have to look
Yeah.
both at the
Just turn.
Pacific time and the English I mean in the
Yeah.
Eastern time. And so at this time we have a talent
Yeah.
show. But Serafina, do you have any
Yes.
last words that you would like to share? And we do wish you uh, uh, a World Sickle Cell Day where you are. Any last words that you'd like to share before we transition to our, and thank you for putting your contact info in the chat.
Yes. I'm arguing the world to join hands and hearts to embrace the sickle cell gene. If you don't embrace it, it will treat you harshly. But if you embrace what runs through your blood, then things are much easier, especially when you accept that you're living with sickle cell disease. It makes you calm, at ease, at peace with your body and mind. And I want to remind all warriors around the world that it is your body that is weak, not your mind. If there is that one thing you're good at, use your mind to focus on it. Find ways of how you can make it better. You are not going to do it physically, but your brain can work. We are happy that we are going into a generation where people are using internet, computers to do a lot of things. If it is that one thing that you're good at it, digitalize it, make it better and shine, because you're meant to shine. You're a special person. Not everyone can be resilient and live with sickle cell disease. It takes a leap of faith for one to survive with sickle cell disease. And trust me, you are a strong warrior. I continue to share love, hope, care, and love with you. And together, we are going to shine. Thank you.
So thank you, Sarafina. Thank you. And we stay in touch anyway. You and I
Bye-bye.
communicate. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And say hi to the babies.
Thank you.
Yeah.